Welcome. Ever wonder what really makes up the Islamic worldview? Well, today we're diving deep into its three core building blocks, Akida, Shariah, and Akhlaq. You can kind of think of them as the belief, the practice, and the character. Together, they form a complete guide for life. So, let's get right into it.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with the big picture, Islam as a total system. Then we'll zoom in on each of those key pillars we just mentioned. After that, we'll see how it all connects in the real world, especially in the marketplace. And we're going to wrap things up with a quick quiz to see what you've picked up.
All right, first up, Islam as a comprehensive system. Now, what do we mean by that? Well, it's about seeing it as more than just a religion in the typical sense. It's really presented as a complete framework for living your life. You know, the word Islam itself gives us a massive clue here. It literally means submission, and it comes from the root word silm, which means peace. So the whole idea, right, is that true peace is found through a willing submission to God's will. It's a really foundational concept. And when we say comprehensive, we mean it covers the whole shebang. It's not just about your spiritual life. This framework offers guidance for your social interactions, your economic dealings, even political structures, and of course, your personal ethics. The goal is to have a guiding principle for pretty much any situation you could face.
Okay, with that big picture set, let's drill down to the bedrock of this whole system. We're talking about the absolute foundation, the core belief, which is known as Akida.
So, Akida is literally the foundation stone of faith. And at its very heart, the absolute center of it all, is the concept of tawhid. This is the unwavering, uncompromising belief in the absolute oneness and unity of God. It's not just a passive belief either. It's the lens through which a Muslim sees the entire world.
And this belief has huge implications, especially when you think about money and economics. From this viewpoint, God isn't just the creator and lawgiver, but also the ultimate owner of all wealth. So what does that make us? It means humans are seen as trustees, or stewards of that wealth. We're accountable for how we use it. This concept of trusteeship is absolutely critical.
So if Akida is the what to believe, then our next concept, Shariah, is the how to act. But think of it less as just a strict set of laws and more like a divine pathway that guides you through life.
And the literal meaning of Sharia is just perfect. It means a waterway that leads to a mainstream. What a powerful metaphor, right? It's this idea of a source of life, of clear guidance. It's seen as the path set by God, taken from the Quran and the traditions of the Prophet, the Sunnah, to help you navigate everything. Now, Sharia covers a lot of ground. It includes acts of worship, or ibadat. It has rules for social dealings and contracts, that's al-Muʿāmalāt. It even includes a penal system. But for our discussion, what's really key is that it lays out specific rules for economic justice, explicitly forbidding things like interest, which is called riba, and overly risky or uncertain transactions known as gharar.
Okay, so we've got the belief, Akida, and the pathway, Shariah. The third piece of the puzzle brings it all inward. This is all about your inner dimension, your moral character, or akhlaq.
The word akhlaq comes from khuluq, which basically means your character, your inner nature. It's the moral code you're meant to live by. And here's the kicker. Things like being honest or fair aren't just seen as good social habits. In this framework, they actually become acts of worship, as long as they're done with the right intention. And this has a massive impact in the real world, especially when it comes to business and economics. Essential idea here is that practicing good akhlaq is seen as essential for a healthy economy. Why? Well, because virtues like honesty and trustworthiness are the very things that fight corruption, stop fraud, and build the trust that any market needs to really flourish.
Okay, so let's tie this all together. These three ideas, Akida, Shariah, and Akhlaq, they aren't separate things. They're designed to be a completely integrated system, like three legs of a stool, working together to create an ethical life, especially in the marketplace.
And you can see the flow so clearly here. It all kicks out with belief, Akida, which sets your worldview. That belief then gives rise to the law, Sharia, which regulates your actions. Then, ethics, or akhlaq, steps in to polish that conduct to shape your inner character. All three work in harmony to guide your behavior. And the ultimate goal? A just and ethical society for everyone.
And listen, this isn't just theory. Let's look at some real examples from Malaysia. That Akida principle, that wealth is a trust from God, we see that put into practice with transparent zakat or charity collection. The principles of Sharia, they are literally written into law, like the Islamic Financial Services Act. And akhlaq, that value-based conduct, it shows up in things like corporate integrity pledges that companies sign.
All right, we have covered a ton of ground. So now it is your turn. Let's do a quick check-in and see how well you've grasped these core ideas with just a few questions.
Okay, question number 1. What's that foundational concept, the absolute bedrock of the faith, also known as Islamic monotheism? Is it A, Sharīʿah, B, Akhlaq, C, Tawheed, which is the core of Akida, or D, Mu'āmalāt?
Question 2. Remember that beautiful metaphor we talked about for divine guidance? What is the literal meaning of the word Sharia? Is it A, a set of rules, B, a waterway, C, a moral character, or D, a financial contract?
And for our last question, which one of these concepts is most directly about stopping corruption and building trust through good moral conduct? Is it A, Akida, B, uqubat, C, riba, or D, akhlaq? Go ahead and drop your answers in the comments below, something like 1C, 2B, 3D. We'd love to see how you did.
And we'll leave you with this really powerful quote. It just perfectly highlights the ultimate importance of having good character, of akhlaq. It brings everything back to the idea that real success is found in moral excellence. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer.